We are in a chapter called quadratic equation. This is a very important chapter for public examination. It fetches you 6 marks. In this chapter, I told you very few things. One is, what is an equation? Equation is a mathematical relation. Then what is a quadratic equation? Quadratic equation is a second degree equation. The standard form of a quadratic equation is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Is the standard form of the quadratic equation of variable x, where a is not equal to 0, a, b, c are constants. Then whenever we think about a quadratic equation is having 2 roots. What are roots? Roots are nothing but the values of the variable which satisfies the equation. How many roots are? At the most a quadratic equation can have 2 roots, right? And now we are finding how to convert a given equation in the form of a standard form. They are going to give a equation, we have to reduce to the standard form. In the exercise they are given some statements. We have to convert that statement in the form of an equation. Later we have to convert that equation in the form of a standard form of a quadratic equation, that is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. I completed a few problems. Now I am in the last problem of the exercise 10.1. It states like this. Here there is a statement. This type of statements are very important for public examination is concerned. Here I am going to write the standard form of the equation. Later on we are going to solve these problems by different methods. The problem is, a train travels a distance of 480 kilometers at a uniform speed. There is a train, it has to cover 480 kilometers distance at a uniform speed. The speed is uniform. It is not increasing or decreasing the speed. The same speed, it is going to cover the distance of 480 kilometers. Now the clause is, if the speed had been 8 kilometers per hour less, suppose it is going in a certain speed, 20 kilometers per hour. Suppose if the speed is reduced to 8 kilometers, means 20 kilometers means 8 kilometers minus, that is 12 kilometers less, then it would have taken 3 hours more to cover. When the speed is less, the time required to cover the distance becomes more. 3 hours more to cover same distance. We need to find the speed of the train. For that one we have to frame an equation. Nice problem. This type of problem are going to come for the public examination. Very easy problem. We have to analyze 2 things here. See, we start like this. Let the uniform speed be x kilometer per hour. We keep this speed as x kilometer per hour. That train is moving with the speed, uniform speed of, try to understand, uniform means it is not accelerated speed, same speed. That uniform speed I taken as x kilometer per hour. Distance to be covered, distance to be covered. The train has to be covered the distance of 480 kilometers. 480 kilometers with the speed of x kilometer per hour. Therefore, time taken, how much time it takes? Time taken is equal to, you all know that time taken is nothing but distance by speed. Distance is 480 kilometers with the speed of x. Therefore, time taken is 480 by x. Try to understand. Here I write because t is equal to d by s. Means to cover certain distance it is moving with a uniform speed. To calculate the time we have to divide the speed, we have to divide the distance by the speed, then we get the time. Therefore time is equal to distance by speed. That is a formula for finding the time. Time is equal to distance by speed. This is one scenario. Now what he is telling is, suppose the speed had been reduced to 8 kilometers per hour. Now the second condition is reduce the speed. Reduced speed, I can have two things, reduced speed or increased speed. It is reduced, speed is reduced. Reduced speed, reduced uniform speed is equal to, it is reducing 8 kilometers per hour, therefore the reduced speed is x minus 8. Reduced speed is what? Formerly it was going with a speed of x kilometer. Now its speed is reduced to 8 kilometer. Therefore x minus 8 kilometer per hour. It is not reduced to 8. It reduces 8 kilometers from the former speed. Before it was going with a speed of what? 8 kilometer. Now it is reduced to x minus 8 kilometer. Therefore, now the second time taken should be, what is the formula for the time taken? Time taken is same thing. Time taken is equal to d by s. The second case, the time taken is equal to 480 by x minus 8. Try to understand. If the train is moving with a speed of x, time taken is 480 by x. If the speed of the train is x minus 8, then the time taken is 480 by x minus 8. What is the difference of time? They are given the difference of time. The train would have taken 3 hours more. 3 hours more. Therefore, difference in time is equal to 3 hours. See, this much you have to write as a data. I repeat the data once again. Imagine there is a train. It is moving with a uniform speed of x kilometer per hour. The train has to cover 480 kilometers. Therefore, the time taken should be 480 divided by xy, because t is equal to dy s. That is the formula. Suppose the train reduces its speed to x minus 8 kilometers. 8 kilometers reduces. Therefore, the time taken should be 480 divided by x minus 8. The difference of the time is 3 hours they are given, right? Now try to understand. Now we have to frame an equation. We all know that when the speed is less, time is more. When speed is less, the time taken to cover the distance is more. Therefore, 480 by x minus 8. This is the time taken by the train when the speed is x minus 8 minus 480 by x. Here the speed is more. When the speed is more, time is less. This is the more time, this is the less time, is equal to 3. That is the idea of difference in time. Difference in time means the time taken by the train when the speed is x minus 8 is more than the time taken by the same train when the speed is x. Or you can even write one more thing here. 480 by x minus 8 is greater than 480 by x. That you have to understand. Right? 480 by x minus 8 is bigger number. Because here the speed is less, therefore the time taken is more. This equation, be careful while writing this one. Why? Because suppose if you write ulta, you get a negative number. Right? 480 by x minus 8 minus 480 by x is equal to 3. You have to understand. When the speed is less, time taken is more. Here less speed, here more speed. Right? Now 3. Now we have to take LCM and solve this and to reduce to standard form. LCM is x into x minus 8. In such problems, very simple. The product of the denominator itself becomes the LCM. X into x minus 8, the product of the denominator. Then this term becomes, it is just like a cross multiplication type. Then this becomes 480 by 480x. 480x minus 480 into x minus 8. You know how to take the LCM. X into x minus 8 is the LCM. X into x minus 8 divided by x minus 8 is x. X into 480 is 480x. Minus x into x minus 8 is the LCM. Divided by x means x minus 8 is left. And that is multiplied by 480, that becomes 480 into x minus 8 is equal to 3. is equal to what? 3. Now I multiply, I open the brackets. 480x minus 480 into x minus 480x minus into minus plus minus into minus what? Plus. Now I have to multiply 480 into 8. 8 into 0, 0. 8 8s are 64. 64 means 4 to right, 6 left. 8 4s are 32. 32 plus 6. 32 plus 6 is 38. 38, right? 0 into 8, 0. 8 8s are 64, 6 left. 8 4s are 32 plus 6 is 38, right? Whole divided by x into x square minus 8 into 8, 8x is equal to 3. Now, seeing this, you can easily understand, you can cancel these two. This is plus, this is minus. I can cancel this. Then I wanted to cross multiply. I write one more step. 3840 by x square minus 8x is equal to 3. Now I cross multiply. X square into 3, 3x square minus 8 into 3, 24x is equal to 3840. Nothing is there means 1. 3840 divided by 1 is multiplied by 1 is 3840. Now we have to take it to the standard form. 3x square minus 24x minus 3840 is equal to 0. Is equal to what? 0. Now see, here 3 is there, here 24 is there, here 3840 is there. These three numbers are divisible by 3. Yes, they are divisible by 3. Therefore, I divide the whole equation by 3. I divide the whole equation by 3 and it becomes what? X square, 3 is gone. 24 means 8x minus, I have to divide by 3. 3 1s are 3, 3 2s are 6, 3 2s are 6 means 2 left, 24, 3 8s are 24, then 0 is equal to 0 by 3 is 0. This is the equation. See the equation? It is in the form of ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Now I write the concluding statement here. This is in the form of ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Therefore, x square minus 8x minus 1280 is equal to 0 is the required equation. Is the required equation. I repeat once again. Very nice problem it is. Actually, the problem again you have to solve this, but he is asked only to frame the equation. In the first exercise, we are framing the equation. The first exercise halts here. What is an equation? Mathematical relation is an equation. What is a quadratic equation? Second degree equation is a quadratic equation. And which is the standard form of a quadratic equation? Ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. And it is an equation of variable x, where what is the value of a should not be equal to 0. What are these ABC? ABC are constants. Therefore, whenever we wanted to solve an equation, the equation should be reduced to the standard form ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Therefore, the first exercise is meant for bringing all the equations or statements to the standard form. Very simple it is. And the last problem of the exercise 10.1 is a train travels a distance of 480 kilometers at a uniform speed. For that purpose, what I did is let the uniform speed be x km per hour. What is the distance it has to cover? 480. Therefore, the time taken is 480 by x. Why? Because t is equal to d by s, means time taken is equal to distance by speed. Suppose the speed is reduced. The reduced speed is x minus 8 km per hour. Therefore, the second time taken is 480 by x minus 8. The difference in time is 3 hours. Difference means you have to always subtract smaller number from the bigger number. Which is smaller number, which is bigger number, you have to understand. That is the common sense. When the speed is less, time is more. Therefore, this time is more, this time is less. Therefore, 480 divided by x minus 8 minus 480 by x is equal to difference of time is 3 hours. That is the equation, first equation. Then that equation has to be reduced to the standard form. For that purpose, we have to simplify. In the simplification case, what I do is, I take the LCM, then I multiply, you know how to multiply by taking the LCM, cancellation, cross multiplication. I got the equation, I put it in the standard form. When I put it in the standard form, I understood that there is a common factor. If there is a common factor, remove that common factor and bring it to the simplified version of the what is known as standard form. That is x square minus 8x minus 1280 is equal to 0. This is the equation required to solve this particular problem. At present, we know that what is a quadratic equation. Quadratic equation is a second degree equation. And then how many roots are there for a quadratic equation? 2 roots. What are these roots? Roots are nothing but the values of the variable which satisfies the equation. And which is the standard form of a quadratic equation? Ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0 is the standard form of a quadratic equation where a is not equal to 0. You have to always repeatedly tell this. Which is the standard form? Ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0 where a is not equal to 0. A, B, C are constants and it is the equation of variable x. Now, we have to solve the equation. Now, we know, see how nicely they developed this particular chapter. First, what is equation? What is quadratic equation? A quadratic equation is having how many roots, and then which is the standard form. Now, we are at the stage how to solve the quadratic equation. After getting the standard form, we are going to solve the quadratic equation. We can solve the quadratic equation by different methods. Why there are many methods to solve a quadratic equation means we are going to get a roots. Roots means values. These values may be real or imaginary. Sometimes the values are existing values. Some number is meaningful number. Sometimes we get values not meaningful, imaginary numbers. Right? Therefore, numbers are classified as real numbers and imaginary numbers. Real numbers are the existing numbers. Imaginary numbers are non-existing numbers. Right? In the number system, we have the numbers are classified as real numbers and imaginary numbers. There are certain numbers, they don't have any values at all. There is meaningless numbers. But the majority of the numbers what we can think of, they are all real numbers. Right? We are going to identify this type of roots in the column called nature of the roots. It is come after the solution of what is known as quadratic equation. The different methods are there. The first method of finding the solution of quadratic equation is the method of factorization. Factorization is the method of finding one of the method of finding the solution of a quadratic equation. But always keep in mind, factorization is a method to find the roots of the quadratic equation when the roots are only real roots. When the real roots are there, we can able to find the roots of the quadratic equation by factorization method, and we know how to factorize a trinomial using the same method, splitting the middle term. We are going to find the roots of the quadratic equation. This is one method. The second method is completing the square method. Completing the square method. This method is mentioned in the textbook, but recently some of the people, there is a reduction in the syllabus because of the COVID situation, because of the corona, the syllabus is reduced. According to the reduced syllabus, what I collected, the completing the square method is removed from the textbook. What I feel is it is most unprofessional. Why? Because completing the square method is the method by which we can derive a formula for the roots of the quadratic equation. Therefore, by removing the completing the square method, you can't understand, you can't derive the formula of the quadratic equation. Without deriving the formula for the quadratic equation, how we can remember the formula? Therefore, I don't think so it is a professional way of reducing the syllabus, but in my classroom, I do this, completing the square method, because I teach you people not only for the public examination, I am teaching you for your future. Because you are going to appear for the examination in the first PUC, second PUC, there this method is required, and the completing the square method is one of the very important method, very useful method. Why? Because this method was developed by an Indian, a person from Karnataka, that is Sridharacharya. Sridharacharya developed the roots of the quadratic formula for the roots of the quadratic equation by the method of completing the square method. Therefore, the second method is completing the square method. Even though if they have removed this part in the syllabus, I am going to solve the problem based on completing the square method, by keeping your future in mind, right? The third method is by the completing the square method, we can derive the formula for the roots of the quadratic equation. Therefore, the third method is called formula method. Formula method. Formula is derived by the completing the square method. Now try to understand what is the difference between a factorization method, what is the difference between these two methods. The advantage of completing the square method is, by the method of completing the square, we can find both real and imaginary roots of the quadratic equation. But in the factorization method, we can find only the real roots. Imaginary roots we cannot find by factorization method. Therefore, this is a better method compared to this, advanced method compared to this. From this method only, we are going to derive the formula for the roots of the quadratic equation. Using that formula also, we can find the roots of the quadratic equation. The fourth method, again, this method is not there in the textbook. The fourth method is graphical method, method of graph, graphical method. This method is also not there in the textbook. Unfortunately, I don't know, because of the corona, they reduced a lot of content in the textbook. The graphical method, the idea of the graph is given in a chapter called polynomials. There is a chapter called polynomial. According to the reduced syllabus, the chapter polynomial is removed. In the chapter polynomial, the graphical method, the graph obtained for a quadratic equation is given. The name of the graph obtained for a quadratic equation is called the parabola. Remember this, you are reading, you are studying SLC for your future, not for mere public examination. There are many children, they study for the examination. They are never ever going to improve in their life. You learn this, all this content for your future is concerned. ಭವಿಷ್ಯಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಓದಬೇಕು, ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆಗಾಗಿ ಓದಬಾರ್ದು. ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆಗಾಗಿ ಓದಿದ್ರೆ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆ ಮುಗಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಮರ್ತೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಭವಿಷ್ಯಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಓದಿದ್ರೆ ಇವೆಲ್ಲವನ್ನ ನಾವು ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ನಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನವನ್ನ ಬಹಳ ಚಿನ್ನದಂತ ಜೀವನವನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Therefore, what I wanted to tell you is, they may be reduced. What is the need to reduce? The children of this year, you are getting online classes. There is a meaningless talk is, online classes are not able to, they are not able to understand online classes. I tell you, online classes are much better than the regular classes. Why? Because online class, when the recorded video is there, you can repeatedly see that video. Repeatedly see, you can see 100 times. You're never going to get a doubt at all. But in a regular class, you can hear the classroom lecture only once. Then you have to remember that. This is the advantage. Majority in higher classes, the online classes are very useful and popularly used all over the world. I don't know. Particularly in Karnataka, the people are hesitant to take online classes all over the world. If you have any friend in US, ask how in US the classes are going on. In complete US, the classes are going on by online. They are never regular school is there, online class is there, they're not going to tell all those things. Here only that problem is there. Online class, see, this is removed. I tell you, it is wrong. Why? Because you children, you got not only 10 months of education, you got 12 months of education this year. From April to next May, you have the class. Therefore, you have sufficient amount of time to learn everything what is there in the textbook. I repeat once again, there are 4 methods to solve a quadratic equation. Factorization method, simple method, you know factorization, you have studied factorization from 6th standard onwards. This method is having some problem. That is, in this method we can find only what is known as real roots of the quadratic equation. Suppose a quadratic equation is having an imaginary root, non-existing root, that can be calculated by completing the square method. And this method was developed by Indian mathematicians like Brahmagupta and Sridhar Acharya. Sridhar Acharya belongs to Karnataka. Using the completing the square method, Sridhar Acharya developed the formula for finding the roots of the quadratic equation. We are going to derive that formula also. By the formula method, we can find the roots of the quadratic equation. That is the third method of solving the quadratic equation. And the last one is graphical method. Graphical method is mentioned in the chapter called polynomials. Try to understand, the graph of a linear equation is a straight line. Graph of a linear equation is a straight line. Graph of a quadratic equation is a parabola. It is a parabola. Parabolic graph is there. It is in the shape of a U-shaped graph. It is a U-shaped graph, and using that graph also we can find the roots of the quadratic equation. Therefore, the roots of the quadratic equation is given, we can able to calculate by 4 methods. But I am going to do factorization, complete square method, formula method. Because this one is completely removed. This chapter only they are removed from the textbook. That is the chapter called polynomials. There, linear polynomial, quadratic polynomial, cubic polynomial, biquadratic polynomial was there. They have removed that, and only these 3 things are there. Now the first one is factorization. I start. It's very simple. It is factorization. To factorize, we should have a skill of factorization. Splitting the middle term. I solved 2 problems. You know how to factorize. Then we go for the exercise of finding the solution of a quadratic equation. Now I write 2 equations. Very simple equation. See, x square minus 7x plus 10 is equal to 0. This is a quadratic equation, and this quadratic equation is in the standard form. I wanted to solve this quadratic equation by factorization method. I write one more equation here. By that you can compare both. The another equation is x square minus 3x minus 10 is equal to 0. See children, these 2 are the equations, quadratic equations. I solve these 2 equations because I know the trick of the solving the quadratic equation. By that, once you understand the trick, then it becomes easy for you to factorize all the problems given in the textbook. See, for factorization, try to understand, for the factorization, you always have to understand one thing, that majority of the students are forgetting that. By that, they going to write the wrong signs for the factors. See, always see, this is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. It is in the standard form. This is c, this is bx, this is ax square. Now this is c is there, but in front of the c, there should be a sign. There is a sign. Here the sign is plus. Here the sign is plus. This sign gives us one information. What is that information? The sign may be either plus or minus. If the plus is there, the factor should be added. If plus is there, factors should be added. You split the middle term and you have to add those 2 terms. Add, addition. Plus stands for addition. When you are adding these factors, the sign of the linear term should be given for both the factors obtained. Both the factors, you have to put the same sign. What is the sign here? Minus. You have to put the same sign for both the factors. If it is plus, see this problem. This is also in the form of ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Here this is c. See the sign in front of that. That is minus. If it is minus, what you have to do is, you have to subtract the factors. If it is minus, you have to subtract the factors to get the linear number. This is the quadratic number, linear number, constant. Identify the sign of the constant. If it is minus, you have to subtract the factors to obtain the linear term. And in that case, this sign should be given for the bigger number. If it is minus, the sign of the linear term should be given for the bigger number, and if it is plus, sign of the linear number, the sign of the linear number is given for both the numbers. I solve and show you. See, the first step is the problem should be in the standard form. Then you multiply both the ends. These two numbers you have to multiply, quadratic and the constant, because you are splitting the middle term. Middle term you have to split, leave the middle term, multiply the extremes. Then it becomes, see I write here, then it becomes what? 10x square. It becomes what? 10x. 10 into x square, 10x square. What is the sign here? Plus. This sign gives you a lot of information. When this is plus, you have to add the factors. Now what are the factors of 10? Tell me. Always write, because the factorization is one such area people can easily factorize if you know the tables. If you know the tables, mathematical tables, not tables means something else, mathematical tables, you can easily factorize. Many children, they don't know the tables, they are not even completed their 3rd standard. Those people are reached to 10th standard, therefore it is difficult for them. Write the tables. 10 can be multiplied. 1 into 10 is 10. 2 into 5 is 10. Then what do you have? 3 into 4, no. Then again 5 comes. Stop. Only 2 sets of factors. 1 into 10, 2 into 5. Now, what is the sign here? Plus. Factor should be added. Factor should be added to get the linear number. Factor should be added means 1 and 10, if I add 11 it becomes, what is the number here? 7. Therefore I should add this. This are the factors I am going to select. When addition is there, sign of the linear number, what is the sign of the linear number? Minus. That should be given for both. That should be given for both. And which is the variable? X is the variable. Write X. Suppose variable is A, write A. If a variable is B, write B. If variable is X, write X. Therefore, minus 2x and minus 5x is the splitted form of minus 7x. If you add these two, you get minus 7x. If you multiply these two, you get 10x square. Therefore, the middle number, this one, the middle number is splitted into this two. Therefore, x square, I don't write the middle number. Instead of middle number, I write those two. Minus 2x, minus 5x, and write the constant as it is equal 0. Simple. Middle term is splitted. I am factorizing the trinomial, splitting the middle number. That is the method used for factorization. Right? You may get doubt, sir, it is minus 2x and minus 5x. Can I write minus 5x and minus 2x? You can write. You can interchange, no problem for that. Right? Therefore, first step is multiplying like this. Be careful about this sign. If it is plus, you have to add the factors to get the linear number. When you are getting a linear number by addition, the sign of the linear number should be given for both. Now I go to that one, that second problem, because both the problem you have to understand. Here, again, this equation is in the standard form, right? First step is multiply the extremes. When I multiply the extremes, I get minus 10x square, right? What I get? Minus 10 into x square, minus 10x square. Well, which is the number? 10. What are the factors of 10? You know the factors of 10. 1 into 10 is 10. 2 into 5 is 10. Right? 2 is 5 is 10. Only 2 pairs of factors. Here, what is the sign here? Minus. You have to get the linear term by this subtraction. 10 minus 1, 9. No, it is 3. 5 minus 2 is 3. Therefore, this pair I should select. If you are getting the middle term, linear term by subtraction, the sign of the linear term should be given for the bigger number between these two, which is bigger. 5 is bigger. For 5 give minus. Opposite sign given for this. Understood? Now, and then variable is x. Now I am going to split the middle term. This term has to be splitted as plus 2x minus 5x. I can even write minus 5x plus 2x. We can write in interchanging method also. Minus 3x can be written as x square plus 2x minus 5x minus 10 is equal to 0. This trick you have to get. Only 2 tricks. If it is plus, you have to add the factors. If you are adding the factors, put the sign of the linear term for both the factors. If it is minus, you have to get the linear term by subtraction. If you are getting the linear term by subtraction, then the sign of the linear term should be given for bigger number. That is the splitting the middle term. Now I splitted the middle term. Now I go back to the first problem. Right? Multiply, I got 10x square. The factors are 1 and 10 and 2 and 5. By adding 2 and 5, I get 7. And the sign of the 7 is minus. I put minus for both the numbers. Now I splitted the minus 7x as minus 2x minus. Right? Now 3 terms becomes 4 terms. Now what I do is, first 2 terms, 1 group, last 2 terms, 1 group. Grouping. Between these two, which is the common factor? Between the first group, which is the common factor? It should be there in both the terms. X is there. I take x as a common factor. Then it becomes x, because x into x, x square. Minus, what is the common factor here? Common factor is 2, because x is already common. X into 2, 2x. Over. Then, what is the sign here? Minus. Right minus. Right minus. Then identify the common factor. 5x and 10, which is the common factor? 5. 5 is the common factor. 5 into 5x, if 5 is removed, x. Right? Here what is there? Plus. To get plus, minus into minus, plus it becomes. Therefore it is minus. Minus into minus what? Plus. 10 is divided by 5 is 2. Equals 0. This is taking the common factor. If you are taking the common factor correctly, what you get in the first bracket, same thing you have to get in the second bracket also. Here what I got x minus 2, here also x minus 2. You can cross check it. Both are same. Now we have 2 things here. See, this one and this one. Between these two, which is the common factor? X minus, I told you, x minus 2 is common. X minus 2, x minus, I take x minus 2 as a common. Left with what? X. Here left with what? Minus 5 is equal to 0. X minus 2 into x minus 5 is equal to 0. Or you can write x minus 5 into x minus 2 is equal to 0. Commutative problem. Now, x minus 2 into x minus 5 is equal to 0. There is an argument here. When the product of 2 numbers, product of 2 terms are equal to 0, then either of the number is equal to 0. Try to understand. I write it here. If A into B is equal to 0, you take two numbers A and B, you multiply that, you get 0, right? You get 0. This means that there is no need that both the numbers are becoming 0. Either of the number is equal to 0. If A is equal to 0, then 0 into B is equal to 0 only. If B is equal to 0, A into 0 is equal to 0. If A into B is equal to 0, it means to say that either A is equal to 0 or B is equal to 0. There is no need that A is equal to 0 and B is equal to 0. It should be A is equal to 0 or B is equal to 0, because there is no need for both the numbers to become 0 to get the product as 0. If any one number is 0, obviously the product becomes 0. Therefore, the connective word is or, not and. Connective word is what? Or. A is equal to 0 or B is equal to 0. Therefore, here, see, x minus 2 into x minus 5 is equal to 0 means what? Either of these two numbers is equal to 0, not both are equal to 0. Therefore, x minus 2 is equal to 0. This can be equal to 0 or x minus 5 is equal to 0. When product of two numbers are equal to 0, any one term is equal to 0. Therefore, I write or, not and. This is very important. If x minus 2 is equal to 0, if I transfer minus 2 to that side, x is equal to 2. X is equal to 2. Because minus 2 transfer to that side, it becomes plus. Or x is equal to minus 5 goes to that side, x is equal to 5. Therefore, the value, the root of the equation is either x is equal to 2 or x is equal to 5. If x is equal to 2 also, it satisfies. Means what? X is equal to, write 2 in the place of x. What happens? See, write 2 in the place of x. 2 square. 2 square is 4. Minus 7 into 2, 14. 4 minus 14 is minus 10. Minus 10 plus 10 is equal to 0. It can be, when you replace 2 in the place of x, it becomes 0. Or 5 place. 5 square. 5 square is 25 minus 7 into 5. 7 into 5 is 35. 25 minus 35 is minus 10. Minus 10 plus 10 is 0. Therefore, the roots means what? Roots are nothing but the values of x that satisfies the equation. Therefore, in the place of x, I can replace 2 or I can replace 5. In both the cases, I get the equation, the value as 0. That is the idea. See, in this case, what is the difference between this problem and this problem? Only the sign. Here it is plus is there, here it is minus is there. Plus is there, we have to add the factors. If it is minus, we have to subtract the factors. We have to subtract 5 minus 2 is 3. In the case of subtraction, sign of the linear term should be given for the bigger number. The opposite sign should be given here. See, if you are very intelligent, you can easily understand. If it is plus, the roots what we get, both the roots should have same sign. Either it should be plus or either it should be minus. But when the sign of the constant number is minus, we are going to get the root. One is positive, another one is negative. See, now we simplify this. The simplification method is, first method is splitting the middle term. After that, grouping. Group first two, the second, third and fourth. Common factor x of, what is common here? X plus 2. What is the sign here? Minus. What is the common between these two? The common between these two is 5. Then x is left x. To get minus, this is minus. To get minus, you have to write plus. Minus into plus is minus. 10 divided by 5 is 2 is equal to 0. See, I solved correctly. Why? Because what term I got in the first bracket, the same term I got in the second bracket. Therefore, my method is right. Then the common factor between these two is x plus 2. What is left here? X. What is left here? Minus 5 is equal to 0. Now when the product of two terms is equal to 0, either of the number is equal to 0. Therefore, x plus 2 is equal to 0 or x minus 5 is equal to 0. If x plus 2 is equal to 0, if I transfer plus 2 to that side, it becomes minus x is equal to minus 2 or x minus 5 is equal to 0, then x is equal to plus 5. See here, I already told you, when the sign is minus, we get two roots of opposite signs. When the sign is plus, we get what is known as both the roots are of same sign. Therefore, factorization is a very simple method, and you know how to factorize. Simply for as a revision I did this. Factorization, there is no need to do this because you studied this in 6th standard, 7th standard, 8th standard, 9th standard. Now you are in 10th standard. From past 5 years, you are factorizing the trinomial. The skill of what is called factorization is identify the sign, don't put wrong signs. If it is plus of the sign in front of the constant, if it is in the standard form, then you have to add the factors. If it is minus, you have to subtract the factors. If you are adding the factor, sign of the linear term should be given for both. If you are subtracting the factor, sign of the linear term should be given for the bigger number. Now we start solving the problems given in the exercise. The exercise is exercise 10.2. Find the root. First main question is find the roots of the following quadratic equation by factorization. The first problem, I already solved this problem. Once again I solved. The first problem is x square minus 3x minus 10 is equal to 0. What I do is, first I write the problem. X square minus 3x minus 10 is equal to 0. First step is, I should think that, I should understand that the given problem is in the standard form, that is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. There is no need to write that. In the formula means you have to write here, there is no need. It should be in the standard form, right? I told you one signal. What is the saying here? Minus. With the minus, we have to subtract the factors to get the linear term. When you are subtracting the factors to get the linear term, this sign has to be given for the bigger number. That is the idea. See, first step is we are going to multiply the extremes. That is minus 10x square, right? Minus 10x square. Then list out the factors of 10. If the numbers are very small, it is better to listing out the factors. If number is bigger number, then it is better to take the prime factors. That is the idea. The 10 is a very small number. The factors of 10 are 1 and 10, 2 and 5. I understood that by subtracting the factors, I should get the linear term. Which pair to select? 10 minus 1 is 9. This is 3, not possible. 5 minus 2 is 3, therefore this is the factor I should select. If I am getting the linear term by subtraction, the sign of the linear term should be given for the bigger one. 2 and 5, which is bigger? 5 is bigger, this is minus, opposite of that is for the 2. Which is the variable they are given? X. Therefore this is 2x, 5x. Now, the middle term is splitted into plus 2x and minus 5x. Therefore, I write this as x square. Instead of minus 3x, I write plus 2x minus 5x minus 10 is equal to 0. These two terms replaced as it is. The middle term is splitted. Right? Now, grouping the first two and the last two. Common factor between the first two is x. It becomes x plus 2. When you remove x from this first term, inside the bracket we get x plus 2. Sign is minus. Common factor between these two numbers is 5. 5. Then what is left here? X. To get minus, you have to write plus only. Because if you write minus, it becomes what is known as this is the minus into minus become plus. To get minus here, you should write plus. 10 divided by 5 is equal to 0. Right? Now, between these two, which is common? X plus 2 is common. Into what is left? X minus 5 is equal to 0. Now, when product of two terms is equal to 0, either of the number is equal to 0. Therefore, x plus 2 is equal to 0 or x minus 5 is equal to 0. Right? If plus 2 is transferred to that side, it becomes x is equal to minus 2 or x minus 5 is equal to 0. X is minus 5 is transferred to that side, it becomes x is equal to plus 5. I can cross check my problem. Here it is minus, therefore I should get two roots of different signs. See, one is minus, another one is plus. Therefore my answer is right. And these two are the roots of this equation. If you replace these numbers for x, you get 0. That is the idea of this particular method of solving the quadratic equation by factorization. The problem of exercise 10.1 first main question is 2x square plus x minus 6 is equal to 0. We are to find the roots of this quadratic equation by factorization. First I write the problem. 2x square plus x minus 6 is equal to 0. First step, it should be in standard form. See, ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Standard form is there. Then I told you, see this sign, minus. Therefore, factor should be subtracted. Factor should be subtracted. Now what I do is, I multiply this. It becomes minus 6 2s are 12. 12x square. 6 into 2 is 12. Sign is minus. Minus 12x square. 12 is a very small number. Therefore, I can list out all the factors of 12. 1 into 12 is 12 and 2 is also a factor of 12. 2 6 are 12. Then 3 is also a factor of 12. 3 4s are 12. Then it stops there itself. Therefore, the factors of 12 are 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. See, what is the sign here? Minus. Therefore, I should subtract the factors to get the linear term. Which number is there in the linear term? 1. To get 1, which pair to be selected? 12 minus 1 is 11. 6 minus 2 is 4. 4 minus 3 is 1. This is the pair we have to select to find what is known as the linear term. Since it is subtraction, this sign of the linear term to be given for the bigger number. Which is the bigger number? Out of 3 and 4, 4 is the bigger number. I write plus for the 4. Opposite of plus sign is minus for the 3. Therefore, it is minus 3 plus 4. Which is the variable here? X. Therefore, this is middle term. Plus x is splitted into minus 3x plus 4x. Now, I replace 2x square as it is. Instead of the middle term, that is plus x, I write minus 3x plus 4x minus 6 is equal to 0. Now the trinomial is this. By splitting the middle term, I got the 4 terms. The next step is group the first 2 terms and the last 2 terms. Between 2x square and 3x, which is common? I can see x as a common number between 2x square and 3x. Therefore, I write this as x of 2x minus 3. 2x minus 3. What I am saying here? Plus. Now what I do is, I find the common factor between 4 and 6. Which is the common factor between 4 and 6? It is 2. Then what is left now? If 4x is divided by 2, I get 2x. If I wanted to get negative sign, minus sign, here it is plus, then it should be minus, because plus into minus is minus. When 6 is divided by 2, I get 3 equals 0. Verify this. What I got in the first bracket, same should I get in the second bracket also. Here 2x minus 3 I got, here also 2x minus 3, therefore my answer is right. Now what is the common factor between these two terms? 2x minus 3, because the common terms are there in the bracket. Then what is left here? X plus 2 is equal to 0. Now I told you, if the product of two terms is equal to 0, either of the number is equal to 0, not or both are not equal to 0. Either 2x minus 3 is equal to 0 or x plus 2 is equal to 0. Therefore, what I do is 2x minus 3 is equal to 0 or x plus 2 is equal to 0. The connecting word is or. Now see, 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. If I transfer minus 3 to that side, it becomes what? Plus 3. Therefore, 2x is equal to 3. When 2x is equal to 3, x is equal to 3 by 2. X is equal to what? 3 by 2 in this case. Or, here, x plus 2 is equal to 0. Transfer plus 2 to that side, it becomes what? X is equal to minus 2. In this case, what happened? We got two roots. X is equal to 3 by 2. X is equal to minus 2. What is the meaning of these two roots? When you replace this 3, x by 3 by 2 in this equation, you will get the value as 0. Same way, if you replace x by minus 2, then also you get 0. Therefore, 3 by 2 or minus 2 are the roots of the given equation. We solve it by factor method. Assignment number 140. First one, write the standard form of a quadratic equation. Second one, represent the statement in the standard form of the quadratic equation. A train travels a distance of 400 kilometers at a uniform speed. If the speed had been 6 kilometers per hour less, then it would have taken 3 hours more to cover the same distance. We need to find the speed of the train. Third question, it is a question for practice. There are number of problems you have to solve by factorization. Solve the following quadratic equation by factorization. You have to solve x square minus 3x minus 10 is equal to 0. First one, x square minus 7x plus 10 is equal to 0. Third one, 2x square plus x minus 6 is equal to 0. Fourth one, 3a square plus 2a minus 1 is equal to 0. Fifth one is 2x square plus 9x minus 5 is equal to 0. The next one is 2x square plus 5x minus 7 is equal to 0. Next one is 2y square minus 3y minus 9 is equal to 0. And the last one is a square minus a minus 2 is equal to 0. It is all for practice. You have to find the roots by the method of factorization. Thank you.